So a lot of people don't realise that there's actually a second designated swimming lake up at the Contamines at the ski area. Most people would be aware of the Parc de Loisirs at the bottom of the lift, but there's actually a second lake at the top of the Telecabine de la Gorge, which is where I'm heading now. So when the Telecabine itself is running, and of course you can just take the lift to get up to it in less than 5 minutes, but it still hasn't actually opened yet, and it's mid-June already. I think it opens this weekend probably, so I'm having to take the slightly boring slog up on this 4x4 track, which is the home run in winter. So I've covered how to get to the car park and everything in my other video. The link will appear somewhere at some point. But from the car park at the bottom of the Telecabine de la Gorge, you simply walk up the gravel track behind the Telecabine and then follow the signs. You can't really miss it. It's probably about a 30-minute walk, and as I say, it's not particularly exciting, just on this wide 4x4 gravel track. But at least you feel like you've earned your swim by the time you get there, because it's a bit of a hot slog. For what it's worth, they finally filled the lake at the bottom at the Parc de Loisirs, although again it's still not officially open. It officially opens this Friday, I believe, or Saturday, June 25th. I just about made it. Don't actually know what this lake is called, so for now I'm going to call it the Lac de la Telecabine. I'm sure Google will have corrected me by the time I post this video. But here we are at the junction of the two Telecabines, Telecabine de la Gorge and Telecabine de la Montjoie, I think. So we're about 1400 meters here, so the water's lovely and cool and fresh, which is nice, because any of the lakes at the bottom of the valley now are just getting so warm they're not really refreshing to jump into on a hot day. When it's 35 degrees in the lower valley, you need cold water. So this is certainly a place to come to cool off. And of course, being at a bit of altitude and in a nice wooded area, it's that bit cooler anyway itself. So even if you don't want to jump straight into the cold water, it's still much more pleasant to sit up here on a hot day than it is to sit down the bottom of the valley. It's really nice and refreshing. I think in peak summer season, when everything's open, that end of the lake is lifeguarded, but as you can possibly see on the sign, baignade non surveillé at this end. Apologies for my terrible French. There does appear to be like mini pedalos at that end as well, which I assume you can hire, but again, nothing's properly open yet. So yeah, this end of the lake you can basically just do what you want. So there you have the second of the designated swimming lakes up at Les Contamines. I'm just about to get chased off by the impending rain clouds now, but that was a lovely place to go for a swim. Nice cold fresh water, really tranquil, and there's plenty to keep you entertained there for a day if you come up there with a family or a group of people. And there's a bar, cafe, restaurant, there's kids play areas, I think there's little petanque fields, and yeah, really good spot. It's the kind of thing that Chamonix is sorely missing, but there's absolutely no reason why they couldn't make something like that in Chamonix, they just don't. But that's the Chamonix Mary for you, very narrow-minded. In terms of a wild swimming spot, I think I'd give this one a 5 out of 10. It's definitely a slight improvement on l'Apre-ski and the Lac des Ilettes, but it's still not particularly wild. It's very much a managed, man-made environment, but you are further up the mountain than you are in l'Apre-ski, so it's got a bit more of a mountain feel, and the water's a lot colder, which is a big improvement. But then it's a much smaller body of water, so you could break out a few lengths or widths of the front crawl. You couldn't get much in the way of open water swimming done there, especially once the little pedalos are out on the lake. But yeah, nice place to go and relax, cool off, and enjoy the day.